I want to talk to you about goals. Short-term, long-term, and generational. I'm going to break this down for you because I really need you to come to a place of understanding that this is a process. One that requires faith, patience with self, and with God. Endurance. We're going to break this down first by identifying each of these goals for what they are. Short-term. These determine whether you'll accomplish your long-term. Consider your long-term goal, your dream. Take an inventory of your now and what does it look like. Then you can answer the question of what you want to do with your tomorrow. Your tomorrow can connect you with your idea of your 5 years, your long-term goal. Your long-term goal, your dream, connects you with your generational goals, which should be the most unselfish goal that you have. Consider this as a new way of existing that you want to establish for the people influenced by your journey. These people are your soul tribe. Underrated is a means of my resources that I use to connect with my soul tribe. However, producing a podcast was never one of my goals. It started with the planting of a seed. The seed was planted in 2016. I was a sophomore in college and God spoke to me in a dream. He planted the seed of Good Vibrations marketing in my mind. He gave me the vision to host events that my peers had never seen before. It was an exciting time, but I didn't know it was a seed that was going to ground me for the rest of my life. It was a seed that gave me purpose. What started out as Good Vibrations Marketing has flourished into what is now known as Good Vibrations Communications Corporation, where in the short term, it was just about events and exposing my world to something new. Your support hardly ever comes from your inner circle. Your real support is taking a leap outside of the boat, no pun intended. I want to be clear in the fact that your plans hardly ever pan out the way you'll expect them to. The saying of, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him what you got planned, rings true every day. So I want to tell you, be innovative in creating your God goals, but don't make plans. With this approach, innovation provides some sense of stability as to why making God laugh with your plans isn't something you have to avoid at all costs. So yes, I have goals, but my plans didn't remain consistent because life is so unpredictable. I want to go back to my statement about support, because if that's what your focus is on, then your vision will be challenged, and you won't be able to complete the task in mind. With God goals, already comes the challenge of getting out of the boat. Battling uncertainty and voices telling you that your dreams are impossible, planting the seeds of failure. Speaking to that, people talk about things as if they truly have the faith to dip their toe in the water. Please don't allow the voices of fear and what other people think, support, or lack thereof keep you from doubting your own potential. Because what matters most is that you and God have an internal understanding. Your purpose is meant to be a challenge to your faith. It challenges you to relevel your mind about who God is and who He says you are and what He can do with you. Ask Him to allow you the ability to see yourself the way He sees you. Be renewed by your mind. Science has proven that as you set goals, there's a portion of your brain that already accepts it as finished. This idea is that don't fall victim to your past or your failures, and don't allow that to define your present. Instead, relevel your mind with positive affirmations of success, abundance, prosperity, and wealth. The more we sit and harp on the things that have hurt us, caused us disappointment and shame, the more power we give it towards holding us back instead of propelling us forward. Let's relevel our mind to the perspective of using every failure and disappointment as adding fuel to the fire for us to go harder and grow deeper within ourselves and in love with God. It's about using those pieces with the intended purpose of making you greater for your now, viewing the past as preparation for your future, instead of a deterrent that wants to keep you from the seed that God has placed on the inside of you. As you receive your seed, your vision, your dream, know that there is fine print that God doesn't tell you about. What He does tell you is this: it begins with you and it ends with Him. He is the beginning and end of all things. Had God told me all I would have had to endure, I would have never accepted the call. I can speak about these things now with confidence because there is no life without God. Had I known that my first experience with love the year I started my business would taint my view, I would have said no. Had I known that I would have had to endure grieving my most loyal source of support that year, I would have said no. Still having to show up every day, still attempting to love from a place of brokenness, and still trying to accept my seed. God doesn't tell us about the fine print, but it's those experiences with love, loss, and lost that have prepared me for my now. Because I have looked the devil directly in the face many of my days, there is nothing that scares me, nor is there anything that I can't overcome. I know because in every moment that I decided to focus on the storm and not Jesus, those were my darkest days. 8 years in the pit. The weapons did form, and most days I felt like they would prosper, but God never left me alone. Today, these are conversations that I must have with myself. I have to encourage my faith with this truth. I have so much gratitude and adoration in my heart because I didn't endure it by my own might. It's a wonder that I still operate in my right mind. God provided me with God goals to reach towards that will light my path. I found a way then, and I'm still finding a way now. Not by my own might, to allow all decisions of my past to not be more powerful than the decisions of my future. In all transparency, I don't believe that knowing what your purpose is as significant as understanding that you do have one in every season. God gives us the seed, but we as the receiver must consciously make the effort to believe. You can't water what you don't believe. It's about the vision, not the sight. There will be moments when you can't see, just like the times that you may stray or the moments of not knowing or understanding what's happening inside or around you. There is one who is all-knowing and omnipresent. That's why the word tells us man should not eat on bread alone, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Your seed will restore your confidence in God. And when you have restored confidence in God, you have restored confidence in yourself. And you have no problem walking the path of the unknown. Darkness doesn't scare you because you are the light. Your seed gives you your power and your authority back. It drowns out the voices of shame, guilt, and regret. God has given you a seed, a vision, a word, and you'll know that you're walking in purpose when you begin to build your life on it. So I'll leave you with this. What the devil meant to take me out, God used it all for my good. My ability to love with integrity, my mental health, my peace, my joy, my confidence. He spent 8 years trying to destroy me. God is restoring it too. I'm stronger than I've ever been, even amid adversity. It's all because he knew the potential that God had placed on the inside of me. There's a whole universe, heaven on earth, for you to explore. My past doesn't define me. I can look back with humor and gratitude for deliverance. I know all my old boys sick right now, and I'm thankful I dodged those bullets. For everything I thought I wanted, God replaced with something better and everything I need. My parental wounds don't define me. I can view them through the lenses of being human with honor as my parents. My relational status doesn't define me. My finances don't define me, and that's why I shine, and will continue to do so unapologetically. I can walk with modesty and water every seed that God has given me. More than anything, I no longer rely on the word of man to be free. I build on the word of God, which is how I can grow towards my God goals.